Okay, now I'm going to talk about quitting smoking. Because I'm going to tell you some things that most people wouldn't tell you and that you're not going to find on any website. Because it is an individual thing. And just let me say up front that I smoked for about 32 to 35 years. Um, I smoked the majority of my adult life and half of my childhood. I started smoking at 12 and I quit 5 years ago. So I have been smoke free now for just over 5, going on 6 years. And I want to tell you, man, when I quit smoking, it was an emotional roller coaster. I felt like I was mourning the loss of a best friend. Because let me tell you, cigarettes had been there for me when people weren't. Uh, we had been through a lot, especially in my adulthood, my early adulthood, and in my childhood. And cigarettes had been there for me through thick and thin when people weren't, when I had no pets. Cigarettes had been there through the birth of 5 kids. Yes, I did. I smoked while I was pregnant. Okay, anybody want to give me a what I don't know about it comment? Go for it. Okay, you'll be happy to know all 5 children turned out just fine. But needless to say that cigarettes have been there for me through the birth of 5 kids, homelessness, uh, just the feeling of rejection, um, the feeling of, so much, just so much. It was like cigarettes were a best friend. They were there in the middle of the night. They were there in the middle of the day. They were there in the early morning. They never bitched at me. They never complained. And they never hurt me. Or so I thought. But anyway, I'm going to tell you some things that a lot of people won't tell you. When you first quit smoking, the urge to find that cigarette is overwhelming. It is, because you're so used to this. You're so used to the hand to mouth. So, the first thing I want to tell you is don't start eating. Do not start getting the candy. Do not start getting the food because you will gain a ton of weight. Don't do it. Get some gum or some hard candy. Put something in your mouth that will last the normal amount of time that it took you to smoke a cigarette. I was a slow smoker, so whereas my husband, he could huff down a cigarette in 2 to 3 minutes, I was always the one standing outside for 10 minutes. You know, um, so you want to find something to put in your mouth that's going to last you at least 10 minutes, and find something to do with your hands. If it's drawing or coloring, or, if you're a girl, paint your nails. If you're a guy, find something to do with your hands while chewing on or sucking on a piece of candy or gum or whatever. The second thing I want to tell you is the poops. Yep, I said it, the poops. Okay, your body is going to try to start cleaning itself once it realizes it's getting rid of all that toxic crap and it's no longer going to get it. You may end up getting the flying craps. I did. Um, and here's the thing, it's going to stink. It is going to smell like tar on the street. It's going to stink because all that crap is coming out of your body. The first week of quitting smoking, it was wow. The poops were horrendous. I I tell you no lie. I'd rather pooped in public and left it there than pooped in my house seriously and had that smell It was bad. I mean, it smelled like burning tar. Can you imagine that in your body? But anyway, and then your taste buds are going to change because you're no longer coating your taste buds with that horrific crap. Your taste for food and your taste for drinks will start to change. Mine are still, like I said, I'm going on 6 months of no smoking. And my taste buds are still changing. I mean, things I used to truly think that I loved, like soda, I used to, I had to have daily a Coke, a Dr. Pepper, a cherry Coke, or a vanilla Coke. I had to have some kind of cold drink in that range, either a Coke product or a Dr. Pepper, and my cigarette. And wow, after about a week of not smoking, I couldn't stand. I literally couldn't stand the taste of sodas anymore. The Coke just, and to this day, like my son, he'll go out and get a cold drink and I'll taste it and it's nasty. It's nasty. It just plain tastes like chemicals. It's nasty. And different foods I've lost my taste for. There's things that I used to like sushi. Oh gosh, I used to love sushi. Now I can't stand it. Who knew? Um, there's a lot of things I don't eat because I just don't want to gain weight at the same time as losing or quitting smoking. And that's what you really want to be careful of because of the hand to mouth habit. You want to do a lot of research. You don't want to start shoveling in food or candies. You don't want to replace that one addiction for another. And please, please, if you're going to quit by vaping, do your research on that because there's a lot of harm. There's just as much harm in the vaping as there is in the smoking. I mean, there's the chemical component is still there, and you're shoveling chemicals and hazardous crap in your body. So you're just changing one addiction for another, and don't go, oh, I quit smoking and I'm vaping, because you didn't quit smoking. I hate to tell you this. You just traded off one smoke for another. Just let you know. You know, and you can fool yourself if you want. When I went to stop smoking, I went to a vape shop and me and my husband got the vape boxes and the vape this and the vape that, and I literally smoked. I literally vaped for one day. And as I woke up the next morning and I reached for my vape box and I thought, wow, this is no different than smoking. And I'll be honest with you, my vape juices were zero nicotine. But what I started to wonder was, what are they? I mean, they're no nicotine, but they're definitely chemicals. I mean, there's no such thing as an all natural bubblegum flavored juice. And there's definitely no such thing as an all natural flavored Dr. Pepper juice. So, what chemicals are in these liquids that are, that they're putting together in some lab somewhere to get these flavors? I mean, you really got to ask yourself these questions, and then you're sucking that crap in and blowing that crap out, and you're going, oh, it's just water. Honey, no. And it's just vape. No. If that helps you sleep at night to think you quit smoking, okay. But I'm here to tell you, no. Sorry. Hate to be the one to bust your bubble, but all you did was trade one chemical dependency for another. It's like I quit drinking beer to start drinking whiskey. I'm not an alcoholic anymore. Nah, dude. If you went from smoking to vaping, you're still smoking. Sorry. Hate to tell you, but you are. You're still smoking. It's just a different form. So, anyway, it can be done. You can give it up. Like I said, I'm going on 6 years. I don't vape. I don't smoke. And it was hard. It wasn't easy. It was not easy at first. But the further along that you get in not doing it, the easier it gets. And like I said, the first week was so hard. It was so, oh, I felt like I did. I cried. And I cried at the drop of a hat. I mean, my son could walk in the room and go, "Hey, mom," and I was like, "Ooh," I was so emotional. But then there's the flip side of it, where some people are just so angry. So I mean, it just depends on your personality. And you could be the angry monster or the emotional twit. And I was the emotional twit. And so it depends on your personality and how you handle it. And the first week, once you get past that first week, it's pretty much, I'm not going to say smooth sailing, but it gets easier. And like I said, there is so much to it. That, I mean, but besides the really horrific stinky poops and your taste buds changing and your sense of smell. Oh my gosh. Me and my husband, we went through this phase within the first 6 months where we could just smell everything. Like if my neighbor farted, we could smell it. It was almost that bad. I mean, really. I mean, we could smell like a dog, like a bloodhound. We were smelling like this. The heightened sense of smell was like wow, and it was just it really was. And then my vision got better, and the smell got better, and the taste buds changed because as that crap comes out of your body. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's gonna happen like that if you go from smoking to vaping because, like I said, I only vaped for one day, and I felt so bad because my husband and me we went to the vape shop and he spent $100 on my box and my accessories and my juice, and then he spent another 100 on his box and his vape and juices and stuff. And by the time we walked out of there, we had spent like 240 some odd, $50, $250. And I just got up the next morning and said, nope, I'm not going to do it. To me, it didn't make sense for me because it didn't make sense for me because I got the zero nicotine vape juices. And so I chose to just not to. And so I looked at my husband, and said, I'm just not going to do this. I'm sorry. I feel like I wasted your money, but I'm just not going to do this. I just, I'd rather just quit and be done. And because I don't want to have to, it was hard enough to quitting the cigarettes. I didn't want to have to go through the same crap quitting the vaping. I just didn't want to have to detox twice. I didn't want to have to break the habit twice. I didn't want to go through the emotional roller coaster twice. I just didn't. So that was, in a nutshell, I was done. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to be done. And so that's pretty much how I took it. And I'm not going to talk about how my husband did it and what he did because that's on him if he wants to talk about it. But we both, I will say this, we both made it through, and we both are going on 6 years smoke free, and it's not a problem now. It's just absolutely not a problem. My body has leveled out, and my sense of smell is fine now. And my taste buds are still changing here and there. I mean, there are some things like I like today and may not like tomorrow. But yeah, thank God the stinky poops are gone. Because man, that was crazy. I mean, that was crazy. It really was. It was like burnt highway tar that, and that's like, you got to realize when you're going through something like that, the crap that's just coming out of your body, it's like, what in the hell, man? Like, wow, I can't believe I was putting that in my body, you know. But if you have questions about quitting smoking, or you're interested in quitting or whatever, do your research. And if you want to put a comment below, if you have any questions, I'll answer you as best I can. Because, like I said, everybody's experience is different. Um, but I'll answer your questions as best I can. And what I don't know, I will tell you to do your research. Talk to your doctor, talk to pharmacists, talk to people that have been there and done that, such as myself, but don't just limit it to me, because my experience may not be the same as yours. I tell you what, in all honesty, me and my husband quit at the same time, and our experiences were very different. His experiences of quitting and my experiences of quitting were very, very different. Very different. So, um, I want to encourage you to quit, but I'm not going to tell you it's going to be an easy ride. But I will tell you it will be worth it. And I will tell you that the further along you get, the easier it gets. And I will tell you that the first week is going to be your hardest. But once you get past that week, you're good to go. So again, if you have any questions, leave me a comment below, and I'll help you out as best I can. So, good luck with that, and happy quitting.